But choosing healthy alternatives doesn't mean you have to sacrifice tasty flavors. Here's some easy swaps you can make in your kitchen. Joining us now is health coach, blogger, and author of The Wandering Palate, Erica Schlick. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. When I hear the word substitution for recipes, I think some people think compromise or sacrifice in terms of flavor. That doesn't have to be the case, right?
Not at all. Today I'm going to be showing you some different things that you can be using in your recipes to make things a little bit healthier and how to decode some of those tricky food labels as well.
Good. All right, let's get started.
Well, I want to start with some cooking oils. So a lot of times, people don't know what to cook with. So you might use canola oil or some of those industrial seed oils, which are so bad for you. So it's all about using healthy fats to cook. And if I'm going to be using a high heat, I like to use either grass-fed butter or coconut oil. I also use avocado oil sometimes, and the reason for that is they have a really high smoke point, and so when you cook your food, it's not going to oxidize, it's not going to be toxic. So those are my go-tos for cooking. Anytime I'm going to do any salad dressings, things like that, that need a little bit of oil or drizzle on the top, I always go for an organic extra virgin olive oil. And this brand is Casadrino's. It's really great. They also make little single packs. If you ever go out to eat and you want to put a little olive oil on your salad or something, you can take some healthy oil, because a lot of times olive oil, I don't know if you've seen the articles floating around out there, but they mix them with canola oil and some of the other suboptimal oils. So it's really important to get a good olive oil.
Well,
so
if you're putting the oil on yourself, you know what oil you're using that for.
Exactly. You never know what you're getting in a restaurant. So I always like to bring a little one, put it on my salad or my food. And the next thing I want to talk about is milk. So a lot of people have been opting to go dairy-free and using almond milks and things like that, but so many of the almond milks and nut milks on the market are filled with gums like guar gum and gellan gum and carrageenan and all these extra fillers to kind of make them a little thicker, more emulsified. So I always recommend looking for a brand that doesn't use gums, doesn't use those fillers, and there's actually quite a few on the market now. There's at least 3 or 4 that I kind of alternate between that are just 2 ingredients, just the nuts and water and maybe a little sea salt. And if you go for an organic one, even better. And same for creamers. Creamers, a lot of the coffee creamers out there are just really bad ingredients. So there's one out on the market that I really like. It's called Nut Pods, and it's a combination of almond milk and coconut milk. And so that's a really great one. It doesn't have any of those fillers either. So those are kind of my go-tos for milks. And then next, I want to get into condiments. So these are where things get really tricky, and you can really get tricked with your labels. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the seed oils and the bad oils. Mayo is one that I just get so mad when I see these labels that are like made with olive oil, made with avocado oil, and then you look at the ingredients and it's the first 3 oils are soy, canola, and like corn oil or something. So they're really tricking you. So I really, really recommend making sure you're reading your labels and opting for one that is purely just avocado oil or olive oil. Or you can even make your own. I actually have a super simple recipe in my cookbook using olive oil. It comes together so easy if you have a blender.
So you have to trust the label on the back with the ingredients, not the label on the front. That's
so
more
easy to trick you with the front. It's so crazy what they get away with. But you really have to be your own detective and learn how to decode ingredients. And the same thing goes for nut butters. A lot of nut butters, you really don't need to be adding an oil to them. They just need to be the nuts, maybe a little sea salt. You can get them unsalted, but that's another place where they really like to add canola oil and soy oil. Those are just things that we don't need in our diet. And some other healthy hacks that I like to do is bone broth is so nutritious for you. It's so good. You can buy some that's shelf stable in a jar. You can buy some that's frozen and already made. You can even make your own, especially if you cook a roasted chicken or something. And anytime a recipe calls for like a broth or a vegetable broth or soup, I always recommend trying to use a bone broth instead to get some extra nutrients. It's really healing for your gut, especially as we're going into the winter, cold and flu season. And then last but not least, we've got some pasta sauce in our condiments here. And that's another place where they love to add weird oils and sugar and, just ingredients that we don't need to be eating. So I opt for one that has a lot of vegetables and uses extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. There's quite a few on the market now as well. And let's face it, sometimes we're just lazy and we want some dinner that's pre-made or makes it easy, especially on the weeknights, right?
That's especially when we have to read the label, though.
So I've got some good healthy hacks for you on that, too. So kind of going in line with our pasta sauce, there's an awesome grain-free almond flour pasta. They make a fettuccine and a spaghetti. It's by Paleo, and I absolutely love that. It's like a great way to get rid of grains in your diet. Also, there's so many new cauliflower pizzas on the market, so you crave pizza, but instead of going for that carb-heavy dish, you can get some cauliflower pizza that's going to have all veggies in it and get like an extra load of veggies with the extra cauliflower. And then same with burgers, sometimes it's like not that hard to make a burger, but sometimes you just don't even want to deal with doing that. So there's also some great pre-made grass-fed burgers. Teton Water Ranch makes great ones that have some with like mushrooms in it. It's one with like a spicy blend. So those are really, really good too. Super easy to cook up. And I know snacks and treats are important too, so I'm not going to leave you without some hacks for those too. So grain-free tortilla chips, these are great. This is a great way to cut down on your carbs. It's by Siete brand, and they're made with cassava flour and coconut flour, and they use avocado oil. So even the oils, which in most traditional tortilla chips would be using like canola oil or sunflower oil, these are super clean, and you can make these with a nice active block, get some healthy fats in. And last but not least, we all like some candy, especially with Halloween coming up, right? So Smart Sweets are great. So these have no sugar, and they have like kind of like a whole cake sugar campaign that they're doing to be able to still have a sweet tooth, have some treats, but not have to deal with all the sugar and the crash. So those are some great healthy hacks, alternatives. You can still kind of get the flavors that you're looking for and want, but just in a healthier way.
That was an amazing amount of research and legwork that you've done for us. Bottom line, though, if I may oversimplify, you got to read every label, right? Don't make any assumptions about the ingredients.
Absolutely, and start to get familiar with what those ingredients are. Like everyone says canola oil is healthy, but it's really not. So do your research, learn about the oils, learn about the ingredients, and decide if you want to eat that or not.
TheTrailToHealth.com, right?
That's right.
All right, we'll put that link on IndyStyle.tv. Thank you so much. Appreciate the insight.
Thank you.
When I saw what it was going to cost to fix my sewer line, I knew I had to get a second opinion. I called New Flow Indy. They took care of the problem and saved me a lot of time and money.
Call New Flow Indy today, your trenchless no-dig sewer line repair specialist.